Hello, Gigi. How are you? I was waiting for, I hope it was easy for you to get here. It was the first time we're trying this setup, but I kind of like it. So kind of together. How are you? You can use the chat on the side and just type a message if you'd like. I'm still waiting for more people to come in. I'm real happy to see you. I haven't seen you for so long. I love doing these live events. I'm going to try to do more of them. It's just not always easy, but sometimes I just want to make events just to have a chat. Well, I'm okay. I can be a little bit frustrated at the minute because of my cat, So, but she's fine. She's alive. She got operated. The only issue is that after the operation, she forgot about, like, she didn't remember all the other cats. And so for like a week or so, it was hard because she was like not recognizing anybody. It was crazy, but she's doing much better now and she's alive and stuff. And so I'm very happy. But it kind of complicated things for me. And on top of that, I was so late because I'm a student as well, and I was super late. So yeah. Well, it's life. It's just life. It can be a bit hectic sometimes, but we're trying, but we're hoping things will go fine. So I'm gonna wait a little bit longer. I hope. Was it hard for you to get there, Gigi? I try to come on early so that people can see the button when they come in. So, and also I think this topic is not as interesting for people. Like, I don't want to learn about productivity. Lisa, yes, hi Lisa. So happy to see you guys. I'll wait another like 2 or 3 minutes and we get started. Maybe people will come later. And I found out people like to watch the replay most of the time. And also it's the weekend, so maybe they have better things to do. But I just wanted to hang out with you, and I haven't talked to you for so long. I actually would like, to have a feature where I can actually speak to you, like see you, and we can exchange, because I love that. Hi, Lisa. It's possible that the chat a little bit late, so the comments might come a little bit late. Okay, great. So I'm happy to see it was easy for you, because I don't want anybody to get confused. But I'm trying to just get everything contained in one spot so that it's easier, and you don't have to send links and stuff. Just come in here and enjoy. And I'm thinking that I want the stream to be free for everyone, because I found that so interesting. The course might be different, but the streams, I like them, because I think it's a nice time for us to get to know each other and stuff like that. So let's see. I don't know if there's going to be more people now. We're not a lot of people, because I understand it. I understand why, but I'm so glad you're here, because I was like, I'm going to talk alone for like an hour. So today we're going to talk about productivity. I will give you the slides as well. So when I publish the course, you get also the PDF slides from the course, so you'll be able to do your own research on your own time. And also, what was I going to say? Vanessa will do her event also sometime next week or the week after, I'm hoping. So it will be quite interesting. She will have an event about like layouts and how to create beautiful layouts, if I remember correctly. But yeah, and then we'll release the first course. So this particular video is more going to be an overview and the basics things you need to know, because this course will be for beginners, like people who never planned anything before, who never did digital planning, because we're going to try to get new blood, and people never did it before, maybe, because we want new, fresh blood in this community. So that'll be great. So, okay, let's get to it. I'm going to share my screen. And so I won't see your questions anymore, but I will go back and forth to see your questions. So, but anyway, guys, I just want to say thank you so much for showing up. I'm so happy to see you. So we're going to get started now. So let me see how we do this. I've got my excuse for that. I was looking for, I'm just going to go, just a second. I'm just preparing this for you guys. There you go. Is that the first page? That's not the first page. Okay. I'm ready. So let's get to it. Okay. Allow. Okay, I think you're going to see my screen. Let me know if you can see the screen. I think you can, but this is not going to be a presentation on a tablet. It's going to be on a computer, because it's more of of an introduction to productivity. And this will help you also to maybe do your own planner later, because the next, I will do a course on how to make your own planners and stuff, because I think that's so important for you to know how to do, because I want you to find planner peace, as you call it. So I think it's good to do your own sometime, because we'll see this in this presentation. Everybody's different, and so everybody's brain is different. So it's very important to understand a few things. So you guys see it okay? Great. Awesome. Okay, so let's get to it. So this is going to be what we're going to talk about in this presentation. So a lot of people talk about planner peace. So we'll kind of help you understand that it's not easy to find planner peace, that it's not as straightforward. And then what you really need to know to get started to understand the mechanism: define your why, define your how, and plan ahead, and then execute and repeat whatever it is you plan to do. So for those of you who don't know me, I know that people who are here do know me, but when you want to watch the replay, some of you might not know me. So my name is Olivia, and I'm the owner of Project Pad. I've been doing this for a little while now. I don't even know how long now. I think time flies, and I don't like it. But anyway, I think I moved 3 times houses since I've started to do this, guys. That's pretty crazy. This is my cat Ezekiel's, but now I have 4 cats, actually, by accident. What happened is that my sister's cats gave birth to 5 kittens, and I had to take 3 to help out. And then turns out nobody wanted them. So I ended up keeping them. So now I have 4 cats, but it's amazing. It's great. For sure, I will stay single for the rest of my life, but it's great. Anyway, just kidding. No, I'm not kidding. But anyway, so yeah, this is my Ezekiel. Is the cutest little thing. It's still my favorite, but don't tell anyone. So the first thing we're going to talk about is how about planner peace. This is something, I'm just going to check if you guys have any questions first. Okay. So I hear this expression in the community all the time, planner peace. I want to find planner peace. I'm so frustrated and everything because I can't find planner peace. And you have to understand that in order for you to find this ideal productivity method for you, because that's what it turns out to be, you have to know yourself and know how your brain operates. Everybody operates differently. Some of us are more pragmatic and some of us are very creative. And so it's different. The way that you see your productivity and how you solve issues, because that's what it turns out to be at the end of the day, is different from person to person. So you will have, in different planning method, you have different views and planning method that will suit different brain types, I would say. That being said, obviously, you will always be a unique individual, and so it will never be perfect. Even if you find a method that you like, you always find things that are missing. So I think for you to be creating your own planner will be the answer. And still then, I promise you that it would never be perfect, because your daily tasks are different than your routines, which are different than projects and things like that. So it's always going to be different. And so there's nothing wrong with you. It's not about you not finding it and you're doing something wrong. It's more about the fact that you're an ever-changing individual, and also you're different than everybody else. And that's amazing. And on top of that, in our communities, I think that most of us are very creative. And so our brain is scattered a bit more. But it doesn't mean that you can't be very pragmatic and logical, and you need more linear view on your task and stuff. So everybody's different. I'm creative thinking. So for me, for example, tasks are intertwined with creativity. It's a very different thing altogether. But I think that everybody was creative, and you don't need to be an artist to be creative. It's like that. It's a bit of a mess sometimes. You need to put things in order. So there's nothing wrong with you. We all go through it. And also it depends on what project you're working on at that time. Let me just check your questions. Okay. If you have questions, just write them down on the chat. So what you need to know, before you start anything at all, there are a few definition, I think, that you need to understand in order for you to understand the mechanism of planning and apps and things that are different every day. For me, I'm doing this for digital planning, but also anything else that you might be using at work, or, because digital planning is part of your life, but it's not your entire life. You might be using other things to do your work or create projects. So the thing you need to know first is the difference between a list of tasks and a project. So a list of tasks is simply a linear list of tasks that are independent from one another. Like go buy milk, call my mom, go buy groceries, or, I don't know, plan next holidays. These are tasks that are independent from one another, that are kind of random, and they're just a simple task list of things you need to do. So that's the first thing you need to get. It's very simple. A project is something different. A project contains tasks, a list of tasks, but it's a project as a beginning and it has a end. It has an end. Oh, sorry. So it's something that you're going to start and then finish, like planning a wedding. There's a day for the wedding and then the wedding ends. Or decorating your living room. There's a beginning of the process and there's an end. And all tasks are related to the same project. And you can have project under project under project. Like under decorating your living room, you might have DIY, which are different projects under the project. But there's always a beginning and an end. So that's very different things. You might think, oh, that's logical, everybody knows that, but not really. Lots of people get confused between the two. So a project always has an end, okay? So when you're planning ahead, so that's also something you need to know, make sure that each step is an actionable step, because ideas and step to accomplish something are different things altogether. So it's important to understand that in order to plan ahead, each task must be defined by an actionable step. So I do this and I do that and I do this. Then another thing you need to know is put together routines and workflows. So a routine is something that you do every day. So it's something that you repeat every day. That helps to kind of alleviate the load on your brain every morning or every night. You know that you have to do these things. You don't have to think, because each time you think and create something, your brain is consistently working. And so it can be tiring for you, and you might not put energy where you need to put them. So put in place routines that will help you do those things for sure, because it's repetitive and you're going to do them all the time. Workflows, on the other hand, they are like routines in the sense that they're repetitive, but they're more like something you do after you find a system that works for you. So let's say that you're working on something that, like, I don't know, me, for example, if I list things on my store, these are very repetitive tasks. But it becomes a workflow that is always the same workflow, and I repeat all the time. So let's say that I hired you to work with me. I can give you that workflow that you can repeat all the way through. It's not per se a routine because it's not that personal, but it's a workflow as in, okay, it's always the same steps. And then you can pass on that workflow to somebody else, which allow you then to delegate tasks. So that can be something as simple as something you do at home. It doesn't need to be at work, you could make a workflow for your kids and tell them, this is how you tidy up a room. First you do that. First you tidy up your toys and put them in a basket. Second, you're gonna hoover the floor. And it's just an example, but it could be professional, but it also is very helpful when you delegate tasks in your home, within your home. So if you want to teach something to a child, it's very nice for them to have a list that they can check. Okay, I do this and I do that and I do this. And it's always the same, and this way it becomes automatic for them. And I would say the main reason you do that is to alleviate stress on your brain, so that you can operate better and not think about those things, because they work. You already did the hard work and it's working. So put together a workflow. And the last thing is that if you have a good method, then the medium does not matter, and you can do – a little break here. And so you can do you can do this with everything. Paper, digital planning, your calendar, it doesn't matter. These things are the basic things you need to understand, like what a task list is, what a project is, and they're not the same thing. We have more people coming in. Hello, everyone. Darnella, Susanna. You guys, how are you guys? Happy to see you there. So, yeah. So this is something very important. If you come now, don't worry. I'll give you the PDF version, and this event will be recorded as well, so you'll see everything. So I'm going to go back to sharing my screen now. Wanted to see you a bit. All right. So these are the things that are important. As a basic rule, it will help you differentiate both when you work on project or task in your family and everyday life. So I feel like if you want to accomplish things, and that is a project, most definitely, because tasks are something we all go through during the day. We all have to do things, it's not something that you think about as, do I have to go and buy milk? I need to really find the reason why I should go and buy milk. You just go and buy milk. But when you want to do something important for yourself, and we all have this in our lives, it doesn't have to be work. It can be a hobby that is important to you for your own happiness. Like I'm gonna create a little piece of paradise for me in my garden and plant flowers and things. It's personal, but it's important for your balance. And so you have to understand why you do things and why it is so important. So another example is let's say, give an example. If you might struggle to lose or gain weight, for example. This is typical. Me, I struggle to gain weight sometimes. But then I'm thinking, I'm gonna lose. Let's say lose weight because it's harder, right? So you have to work out. You have to stop eating what you like, and it's hard. And you're like, why should I do this, right? And you have to wonder why, because this is what's gonna trigger your actions. So you might say, oh, I just want to look good in a bathing suit. Most of the time, it's not enough. I don't know about you, but for me, that's not a reason good enough. I don't care really about how to look good on the beach. Not really a problem. But what might be a better why is that, you're going to see your ex tomorrow and he's going to be there and you're going to wear that beautiful dress, right? And so that why becomes way more powerful because you're like, okay, I need to look amazing right now because my ex is going to be there and I don't love him, yes, but he needs to regret ever leaving me. Okay, for those of you who don't know me, I say a lot of stupid things like this, but I think it's a good image on the importance of why you're doing things and why certain why are more potent than others. So one of the why might be just that you have to do it on time. The clock is ticking and you have to get this done. You have this is an appointment. This is something. This is an assignment that's been given to you. We all have this why. This is a very powerful why. When it could damage you if you don't do it at the right time. You also have, if you haven't done that before, it's a good exercise. You can do the before and after state, right? So the before and after state is like, okay, right now. Let me just see you because I want to see you. So right now, let's say that, let's take the weighted example here. Okay, I'll take my example because then I don't talk about anybody than me. I want to put on weight a little bit because I've been through a rough patch. And that's true. I've been through a rough patch lately. So I lost a lot of weight. And so in my head, because to put on weight, I need to work out. I don't put on weight that easily. I need to work out. So for me, it's like, okay, and workout is difficult. Who wants to do that? Nobody. So for me, it's like, okay, why? I need to find an exercise in my head that would force me to do this every day. And I'm thinking, okay, my state right now is that I don't feel that great. I look weak and I'm a person that has to be strong because I have people to take care of in my life as a general rule. So I look a bit weak and my face look a bit tired and I don't feel my best because I don't have enough energy because I don't eat enough food. And so this is my present state right now. And then I have to do exercise where after, if I manage to do this, what's going to happen? Oh yeah, I'm going to have more energy. I'm going to be more productive. That means a better business results, for example. That means a better relationship with my close ones because I'm not as tired and I can eat. I'm the type of person when I'm not well, I don't eat anything. I'm not the type of person who eat a lot of food. When I'm not well, I don't eat. So it kind of causes issues socially as well. So it's kind of like, and it's not what worries me. It's just the way that I am. So for me, I'm thinking, okay, I see myself as a projection of the future on how happy I would be if I get this done. And so if that's strong enough for you, that can help you maybe find your why. It's like, okay, if I do this, then my kids will be happier and I'll be able to play with them more, or whatever it is you want to achieve, and you see your life better, then that can help you find your why if you can't find it. But always think about it when it's something important to you. If you say, okay, I need to really organize my garage. It's too messy. And then you say, okay, this is a set of the garage right now. It occupies space in my brain, and I don't feel right about this. And it's dirty and it's smelly, and there's mice in there, whatever. After that, it could be a place that I've created for myself, where I can read books and be quiet without the kids, without the noise, and I could have a little safe havens for myself, and you can feel almost the well-being of that. And so when you're trying to achieve something, if you can't find a why strong enough, try that exercise before and after. You before what you're trying to achieve, and you after you achieved it. That can really work for you. Okay, let's continue. Sometimes I really want to. Okay. Ooh, okay, fine. So I think that's what I just said. So these are the how. There are plenty of methods out there. I will, obviously, in the PDF, you'll see a list of those methods here. I'm going to explain them in quickly. And then in other events, I will make more videos or more live in details about all these little productivity methods. So as you can see, there are productivity methods out there, because it's so complicated for the brain to be organized that people put together things for different type of people. These methods are they're more task management systems. There are some project management systems out there, but they're very complicated. But task management system, there are lots out there that can work for you. So I'm going to go through them and explain just like that for you to have an idea. It's pretty simple. So there is the one task at a time method. This method is pretty simple. You just write the task that you have to do. Simple. We do that, I think, in digital planning quite a lot. We just, okay, I have to do this today, this today, this today, a little checkbox next to it, and we go through the list. And believe it or not, for some people, it is just what they need. Sometimes I think that people also complicate things quite a bit. And so I feel like this method here, let me take a picture of this, because I prefer you to see me instead of not seeing me, so I can see what I'm doing here. Because, okay. All right. I prefer you to see me. I don't know. I think it's better. So yeah, the one task at a time method is something that I think we all do, and it works pretty well. And sometimes don't overcomplicate things. If this works for you on a particular day, just do that. Just decorate it nicely and do, okay, I have this to do today, this to do, and blah, blah, blah. And it's pretty simple. One of the other method you can find there is time blocking. So time blocking, you might have heard of that already. It looks like this. I'm going to show you. On my computer, I have some images of it. So it looks like that. So that's task blocking. You can see one here. Let me just, okay. That's an example of it. This is a very basic one where you always have the same routine, but they're very much the same. Or you can have something a bit more complex like this, for example, which look more like my schedule if I do task blocking, which I don't do all the time. But this is an example I found on Google, but this is what it is. So you have color-coded activities, all right, and they can be categorized. So let's say for me, for example, I could do, okay, purple is design, and then blue in social media work, and then yellow is spending time with my family or friends. It's like things outside of work, like, and green might be workouts. And so that can, in workouts, that can include meditation. I don't meditate. I can't stand just still and I can do that. But okay, let's say I'm one of those people who meditates. If you meditate, kudos to you. I can't do that. But yeah, okay. Meditation I can put in there. Working out, go and walk the dog with the cats. I don't walk cats. Do you walk cats? No, you don't walk cats, right? Anyway, walk the dog. Any physical activity that you might do. You might put that in the blue so you know it's physical, let's say. You can categorize that as you want. And then I would say purple for me is design work. So I would draw for you, like I would put in there work for CHQ and a new set and a new planner. So all of that would go in purple. And then let's say that orange will be family time. So I have a date, or I have to babysit my kid sister, or I have to take care of my mother, or whatever. That's family time. So at a glance, you'll be able to see, like, at a glance, you'll be able to see. Susanna has to leave. That's fine, darling. I'll see you very soon, but don't worry, there'll be a recording later, as you said. But anyway, so yeah, at a glance, you'll be able to see exactly when you do what type of task. And so if you're a visual person and you like calendars, that can work really well. I love calendars particularly because it's pretty straightforward. Everybody uses them. Everybody understands them. So I find that they are really good for planning for the family. Like, you know, if you have a big family and you like to have like a big calendar with things on it, I think for the family that works well. For work, it works wonderful, but for the family, it works also very well. So I find that time blocking can be fun as well for the family because you can have sticky notes instead of these things. You can have a big calendar and sticky notes, and then you say, okay, guys, for house chores will be pink, and so you can see in the calendars, and then you can then delegate tasks and things. So it can be fun to do. So that's task blocking as well. Okay, let me see. And then you had the eat the frog method. I don't know if you know the eat the frog method. Pretty simple. You basically do the hardest task first. So you have your list of tasks and you choose which tasks take you the most energy and the most time, and you do these tasks first. So you can also use that for digital planning because it's pretty simple to do. You just compile your tasks and on the list, and then you say, okay, this task will take me half an hour, or it will take me more brain power, or I have to think more. So I do these first. In that, why do they do this is to manage your energy, because normally at the beginning of the day, let's say a certain time of day, it differs for everyone, you might have more energy, and so you will do the hardest task first. Just a second. Izzy, arrête ça. My cat. I just got back in a bit. Arrête ça, sors de là. Oh. You know, this is Izzy. This is my big baby. Say hi. Oh, but anyway, you might. It's gonna complain a bit. Say hi, baby. Hi. Go ahead. So I'm gonna add a little caveat to that. I feel like everybody's different. Some people have more energy during the end of the day. So what I would say, he's very cute when he wants to be cute. He's not always cute, but no, he's cute. But anyway, what you want to do is like do this exercise and kind of adapt this exercise to your level of energy. Me, I'm a morning person. I'm up at 4 a.m. And I'm ready to go at 4 a.m. But I can't work after like 8 p.m. or something. My energy is gone by then, and I'm tired. I work out at 6:37, then I'm done for the day. I try to watch a movie. I can't. I usually watch my movie for 5 minutes and then I fall asleep. But if you have more energy at night, if you're a night owl, that's just your natural rhythm. So it's different for everyone. But what you do then is just do the things that are lightest for you to do when you have less energy, and do the hardest task when you have more energy. So that's the eat the frog method. Personally, I do the classic. I do the hardest first, and then I do the lightest if I operate like this, which I don't always do, because that's also the thing, guys. It would change from day to day, right? Sometimes you want to do this, sometimes you don't want to do this, sometimes you can't be bothered. It will depend on your mood as well. So everybody's different in that way. Okay, so another method is the Kanban board, which you all know as well. I'm going to show you how it looks like. most of you would know what it is anyway. So this is, let me just see, Kanban board. This is a Kanban board here. This is a typical Kanban board that you can find in applications, and you can do it with sticky notes as well on the actual paper board, So that's the typical to do, do today in progress done. It could be, Kanbans can be infinite in terms of categories and how you, what type of steps you put together for your task. But this is an example of a Kanban board. You can actually do that with planners. I have a few planners with a Kanban board in it. It's very visual, and it's very it's very rewarding because you can see what's done and you can see what's in progress, as in, when these two sections get filled up, you feel really good about yourself. And you also have an overview of all the work that needs to be done still in one glance. And it's pretty nice. You can assign tasks, as you can see here. So it's, I like Kanban method myself. I think it's awesome. And if you're a visual person, this works really, really well. So I do recommend it for you if you're more of a visual individual. So let me just come back to you here. So then you have the grocery list. So again, the grocery list is a method for task management. And I think we all do that as well. It's pretty simple. You just write your list of tasks and then you chronologically write them. So you will put your task and then when they need to be done, and you try to do it chronologically so that you get to the most urgent task before, and then you carry on your list that way. So I think with digital planning, you can definitely do that. Using a planner, you don't have to have particular stickers or anything, because that's the thing. What I'm trying to give you here are techniques you can apply in using anything. It doesn't matter which planner, because ultimately, I think the planner matters less than the method. That's why I think I create pages that are empty for daily pages, because I want you to find a way to apply these methods every day that suits the way your brain functions, right? Apart from Kanban boards, and again, I have planners which has Kanban boards in it if you want to. When I do the course, I'll list the resources, and I might make a planner for you as a member of CHQ as well. But anyway, but what I mean by that is that it's pretty good, because what you can do is really have your own method, and this method can be ever changing. And I think when you're stuck with a template, and templates are good, I'm not saying they're not good, but I feel like everybody's different every day, different mood, different energy, different projects. Some things are simple. You don't need to complicate them, but some things are more complex. And so they require more space, that you can double pages, that you can take notes. So these are different things. So if you have questions, please don't forget to write in the chat. Another technique is the Pomodoro Technique. I think you heard of it. Is doing tasks with a timer. So you have your task, you write the time you want to execute them within. So let's say I say, okay, I'm going to design for an hour. So you just write. Thank you, Lisa. Yeah, I got some planner with Kanban boards. I would definitely put that in the resources for you guys to use. So the Pomodoro Technique is you take a little timer and you place it. Oh, you can use it on your computer. There's a timer there, or your phone or anything. You put an alarm, and then you start your task and you say, okay, I have an hour to do this, and then you do this in an hour, and then you change your task. You say, okay, I'm going to take 5 minutes break, and then you time your breaks. For me, that's very claustrophobic, but for some people, it's excellent because it gets them to be more disciplined, and discipline is very important. So if you have a problem with doing things, maybe having a frame like this, a time frame around your task, can help you actually do them, because some people just follow these things and it works for their brains. I'm not like that, because I'm very much scattered. I'm going to do this a little bit and then do that and do this. It's just the way I function. And before, I used to be like, oh, I'm not normal, I need to be like those people. And I'm like, no, I don't need to be like other people, because I'm different. And there's no problem with that. And you can still achieve things the way you are. So don't try to compare yourself to other people. Sorry. Just do things as they are. Fine. Just do things like you want to do them. And because there's nothing wrong with you. It's really just about being different And so trying to just try to find what you need during that day, and it might change from day to day. You might use the eat the frog technique one day, and you might use the Pomodoro technique the other day, and it's fine because it depends on what you have to do as well. And I think another technique you might know about is getting things done. I don't know if you heard of that technique, which is from a book. I'm going to show you the picture of it. Okay, let's see. This is it. This is from David Allen, and this is a book, Getting Things Done. You can purchase that book. See, it can be as complex as this, but this works well for, it's a good method. I will probably make a live event or a little video, but maybe not live, but maybe a video about it to explain it further. Because it can help, but I feel like that's more for those of you who have a really complex life with a lot of moving parts, and who needs very thorough organization. So I would say to make things short, it starts with a brain dump. So you just write everything down on a piece of paper, what you have to do, and then you start to kind of decide if those tasks actionable or not actionable. So what is not actionable are like things to throw away, things that are like, I don't know, a piece of paper, things that are physical might be, or things that are here for reviews. They're different things than a task. And then there's things that are actionable like task, and you have to define if they are projects or just a task list, as I was talking to you before. Are they long tasks to do? Are they short tasks to do? If they're long tasks to do, then you might delegate it or defer it. And if they're very short, you might do them right now, blah, blah, blah. And then you can continue down the road like this. Obviously, I will give you also a copy of this in the resource section. But you can see that it can be very complex as well. But it can work if you are like me, for example, and you have so much moving part. Like I'm a student, I take care of my family. Because my family is complex. My sister disabled and my mom is disabled, for example, and I have to go at 4 a.m. I go to their home and clean the house for them and, take care of my mom, take care of my sister and all that. And then I have to come back here, work, study, I take care of my forecast and blah, blah, blah. It's hard. It's tough because there's so many things I have to do at the same time. So systems like this, I don't say I use this one per se, but I use a mix of this one with other things. So I feel like if your life looks a bit like that, like it's messy, you have kids and you have responsibilities and you have things you have to do on a daily basis that are so overwhelming, a system like that can be helpful. But I don't want you to like panic about that. I think the Kanban board is very good if you have too many things going on and you just want a simple way of seeing them. I think Kanban board works great as well. But just to show you that there are methods out there, you can research them yourself, see what works for you. But they are to be used together or a mix of both or whatever. So it's not as simple as just saying, oh, I want to find a planner that tells me what to do. We can't create the perfect planner for you because, as you can see, there's so many moving parts, so it's complex. So let's continue with the presentation. But I'll leave you the resources so you can research it yourself. So this is the how. Like, there's so many ways to do something. And in other courses, I will show you more in detail. So some simple method you can apply is a grocery list method, I find, just with the date and the task and the date next to it so that you know when to do it chronologically. One task at a time is what we do in general. We just write the tasks we have to do and go through them, and that's fine. And I found that Eat the Frog as well is pretty good because, it's just more efficient. You get things done, the hardest things done first when you have the most energy, and then the easiest stuff when you don't have as much energy. Okay. So when you have a digital planner, what can you plan in your planner, basically? And that can look like a very stupid questions, but I don't think it is that stupid because you might have other things you're using to plan your day or your work. You might have a calendar or task management application or something like that. But in your planner, you can start planning your things like your events and appointments, for example. And these should be written first because they're timely. So these should go in your weekly, I would say, templates when you can write them, when you need to do these things. Maybe you put an alarm on your phone. These have to be scheduled in your planner because they're not really going to change, and they're not depending only on yourself. You're also accountable to other people usually when you have events or appointments. Then you have things that you need to do in time, on schedule. So these are assignments and things like that. These are things you also need to put inside of your planner, and maybe using then some sort of a color coding and saying, okay, you can do that in a calendar or in a planner where you can add colors and say, okay, I have to do this within 4 days. And then, during your week, then you have a block of time when this task needs to be done. And then you have to list important tasks. I'm going to talk about importance versus urgent in a minute. But it's very important, guys, for you to understand that that what's important to you is important to you only. There are things like dreams and projects, even though they're not like, they have nothing to do with work or money or not something like that. They have to do with your well-being. So if for you, redecorating your room, your bedroom is important for your well-being, your mental health, then it is an important task. And it's different than an urgent task. Urgent task might not be something you like to do, but important task is something that matters to you as a human being. And these tasks should be planned as well. What I mean by that is find a way to do these for yourself, to do these tasks for you so that you can feel good about yourself. You could have a moment for yourself. Don't think, oh, it's not important because it doesn't have nothing to do with me. That's what's important is other people. Not always. You need to put yourself first sometimes. At least plan it in your planner. This is a me time. I need to decorate my house. You might have to do something for your own career as well. I'm not saying, of course. But the important task, this is what important task is. It's important to you as a human being, to your well-being, to your development. It could be, okay, I'm going to work on that. I'm going to take courses on doing this and that, and I'm going to work on my education. And this is your moment. And it's important to you as your own development, and try to make time for this. Always, even if it's 30 minutes a day, an hour per day, try to find something for you. For me, I work out. It's important to me. For my well-being, it's important for me. I need to release stress. I need to do things. It's important to me to do these things. So I plan it. I don't care. This is my time. Don't disturb me at this time. Don't call me. Don't tell me to do things. I'm not going to be ready after 8 o'clock when I'm done working out, because I need this time to release stress. It's a time for myself. It has nothing to do with being slim or not slim or big or not big. No, it's just I need to release tension, so I work out. For some other people, it might be, okay, I need to draw something, I need to paint, this is important. And so you might put those tasks first sometimes, and it hurts to do that. And I say that, I talk about that because it's not easy to do that. Sometimes you don't want to put yourself first because you're a woman. Women are very given, and we just put other people first and other things first before ourselves. Plan these things in your planner. Make space for them. It doesn't matter what it is. If it's important to you, that is important to your well-being, it's vital that you take care of yourself as well. And other people will thank you for it because you'll be a better, more productive human being because you have what you need as well. So that's very important. I wanted to put this out there because I know it can be hard for us women to do that. So let's continue that. So another thing that people get confused about, I found, is urgent versus important task. So urgent tasks are timely tasks. You might not like them. They might not be important to you as a whole. They're just tasks that are urgent. Then you need to get it done. It can be a milestone. It can be an assignment, something that needs to be done is urgent and timely. Do you hear my little kitty? Just can't hear her. Anyway, so this is something you just have to do timely. As I said, important, it's something that has to do with your life, and it can be a life-changing things. It can be, if you don't do this, you're going to be compromised. It can be something that you need to do in order to move on, to move forward in a project, or it can be something that if you don't do would compromise you. So a compromise, you can be your health, or your self-care as well. It can be that as well. So important is not always urgent. And by the way, that's a very nice state to be in. If you do things that are important but not urgent, you find a sweet spot, because you're going to do these things with way more efficiency if you're not pressed by time, but you just do them because you like to do them and they're important to you. So that can be, as I said, work, or something, I would say, more fun, something that has to do with your own well-being. So how long am I in this? So we are going to talk about execute and repeat, which is one of the last, yeah, I'm quite good in time. We're less than an hour. So I said an hour, so that's good. So execute and repeat. So it's extremely important for you to create systems once you find what you like. Just give me a second. Just gonna, okay. So it's very valuable for you to take notes on what is working for you. So if you find a system that works for you, and it can be a system for a particular issue. Let's say you say, I need to schedule chores for my kids during the week, and you find something that works, take notes of it and create a workflow, create something that people can refer to that makes your life easier. When you have a lot of moving parts, it's very important to get help. And so in order to get help, you need a workflow and a system in place. If you see that this particular things work for that, can be for work, family, for anything, and what you do is take notes of it. It's working. This works for me. People do it. I do it. It works for me. I don't know, Pomodoro Technique. Oh, I like the fact that if I time this, then I manage to do this, this, and that. So I can create a system with this in mind. And it doesn't have to be the entire system, but just a part of it might work for you. You say, oh, I like the eat the frog method, but I found that, okay, I need to time it though. I can mix both methods together, it's working. And so that's one thing to do. The other things to do is to create a workflow. Always the same thing, a list of tasks that you can repeat and repeat and repeat, and that you don't have to rewrite. In my Kanban planners, I also have workflows. Things that plan that you execute. That's what workflow is, and it's always the same. And it's something you can delegate very easily. It can be extremely complex, extremely long. It can be a very long task list, but when you work with people at work or at home, right, you can say, listen, I wrote the task of list down. You didn't do this and this and that, but it was written on there, so you didn't do the workflow properly. If you follow the workflow, it will work out. So you can find that for lots of things in the home and at work. At work more so though, for sure. But my sister uses that for her kids, for example. Okay, because kids are like me, like she has an autistic child like me, but Asperger's, so nothing bad, but like nothing too difficult, but he needs to focus. And so she created lists of task workflows that taught her how to do that. And it works really well for him because it allowed him to not think much. The tasks are there, tuck, 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 and you just do them one after the other, and it's always the same. So after a while, it becomes like a natural habit that you have, and you don't have to think. You just do it at some point. So it's quite helpful for you in the house, and it's quite helpful for you at work as well. It's something I do a lot for myself, and it makes things so easily. And also, what's good with a workflow is that you know how long it takes. If you have a workflow, it usually takes the same amount of time all the time. And so imagine that how much it relieves the pressure on your brain to do things. It's so much easier because okay, this will take me that amount of time because I did it so many times already, and I know exactly how it works, and it just works well. So this is how you create a workflow. It's just also, what does it look like? It looks like a simple task list. You have like a little task list and then the title on top. Workflow for, I don't know, I don't know, let what type of workflow for tidy up the room for my little nephew, for example. And my sister write down everything else to do in order. So first, pick up the clothes on the floor, put them in the laundry basket, separate, and then toss two, separate colors and white. So he does that as well. Toss three, pick up the toys on the floor. Task four, put them in this basket for this type of toys. And so it's got that written. So you might be thinking that would never work for my kids, but try it out. I mean, simplify it. My nephew is particularly is particular, but it works for a lot of kids. Just simplify it. But I think that if they know, because sometimes it's not that people don't want to do things, that they don't know where to start. They don't know where to start, and you see that a lot. People don't know where to start. So they want to do a ton of things. They're just lost in translation. They're like, I don't know what to do. What do I start with? And so having a workflow in place, that really helps. A little side note about that is that think about also that you can reverse engineer things. That's also something I do a lot when I have projects. So if you are somebody who don't know how to start something, you're not the only one. Everybody is the same. And the reason for that is because we see the end first before seeing the beginning, and that's totally normal. We'll see what we want to achieve before seeing step one. The way you help with that is to reverse engineer. So to start with the end first and then come to the beginning so that you know what step one is. So let's put an example. Let's say, what example can I give you? Okay, I want to create a course about digital planning. So I can see the course. This is the end results, the course. But for the course to be done, I need to make videos. So first of all, say, okay, this is the course, and this is how the course looks like in design. So I would say, okay, in order to have the course ready, let's say, I need to find a design frame to put the course in. Okay, step. When I find a design frame for the course, in order for the design frame to make sense, I need to have a design. So design the colors and branding and everything. Then when the colors and branding are done, in order for it to make sense, I need to have videos, content. So I need to create the videos. For me to create the videos, for the videos to be working and to make sense, I need to have content for them. So I need to have some sort of like, I'm going to say that, how do you call that? I need to have a program for the courses. I don't remember how you call it. But okay, I need to have a program. So a plan for the course. So I need to write the plan for the course. To write the plan for the course, I need to know what people want to learn. So what people want to learn. So ask questions, have a way for people to answer your question. A good way for me to do that is to do live events. Live events, okay, let's see what question people ask during live events. And to have live events, I need to have a community where, you know what I mean? So you go down and down and down and down, and that really helps. And so when you go back down completely, you will have a step one. Step one will be then, okay, I need a community where I can have live events and ask people questions about courses. And so I know that way where to start. Obviously, I knew more or less where to start, but it allows you, if you do that for complex things, like I want to start a Etsy business, right? Whatever. So you can see your Etsy business as end goal, right? So then you're like, okay, to have an Etsy business, I need to start to create an account on Etsy. To create an account on Etsy, I need to have these details, maybe a PayPal account and working orders and stuff. So let's go and do that. Then in order to have that, and then you go down. I need to create, I need to have enough products to sell. To have enough product to sell, I need to have that many hours during the day. To have that many hours during the day, I was to free up time there. And so as you come down the line, you'll see that maybe the step one of having an Etsy store is to make more time in your schedule. It has nothing to do with the Etsy store per se, but it does because it leads to it. And then obviously, as you can see, you then have steps after step after step after step. And so that's it. You have your plan laid out for you and you know where to start. And then within these steps, you're going to have task and task and task, but at least you have a structure. So that was just a side note. I will do a video, like maybe maybe not live event, maybe a video about this more because it's so interesting to do project management this way, to just reverse engineer things. I think it's very helpful. for you when you don't know where to start, because that's something we all go through. We all go through this problem, not knowing where to start. So, okay, so we are at the end of the presentation. I hope that wasn't too long. I didn't want to keep you for your lovely weekend. So what we're going to have coming soon, not necessarily right after this course, but after this course, I think we're going to do a bit of Procreate. It's going to be a bit more fun for you guys and productivity. Vanessa is going to do her course on layout, so it's going to be fun. But I feel like productivity is important just to have it there for you as a resource, because I feel like it can help you, and it has to do with planning, right? So, but there will be more course on productivity, more in depth. This was an introduction because this is a course for beginners. I will do videos or courses or live events on all these systems and review them in details and how to use them in your planners. And I will have a course on how to create your own planners. So this is the end of the presentation, of course. Make sure you ask your question if you have any. Oh, where am I? Oh, no. Okay, I'm back. I was gone for a minute. Yeah, so I want to create a course on how to create your own planner. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. So yeah, the next course will be on Procreate. So if you have some question about Procreate, you can use them. You can use what can I say? You can use the feedback section in the community to add question about Procreate. I'm going to start from the beginning with Procreate, of course. Okay, so just a little thing. I'm not an expert in Procreate, as in I draw a lot, drawing like on paper, but I feel that's good because I can give you, well, let's say, introductory information. But I will make a simple course to begin with, and then we'll dig deeper, and then I'll need to learn a bit more about Procreate myself, even though I tend to not use tricks and tips. I just draw the way I draw. So anyways, but I feel like I can teach you lots of things already with Procreate, techniques and things for you to use it easily, and it'll be fun as well. So I can't wait to teach you that. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for being here. I hope you had a little bit of fun still. I know it was a bit not as fun, but I think it's important for you to know, and I hope it helps you in your daily life. So I can't wait to see you guys. Thank you so much for showing up. I love you so very much. You guys are amazing. Thank you, and I'll see you guys very soon. Bye-bye, everyone. You have a lovely weekend.